G'day all, welcome back to Dad vs Son and our playthrough of the Paratroopers pack from Combat Commander from GMT and Chad. And we're about to go on with Scenario 27, Carentan Causeway, designed by John Home. And the situation report is north of Carentan, France, 10 June 44. Shortly after D-Day, American forces arriving at Omaha and Utah beaches were separated by the Duave River. The city of Carentan and a determined force of German defenders. Lieutenant Colonel Robert Coles, 3rd Battalion, 502nd PIR, 101 Airborne, supported by artillery and mortar fire, was tasked with assaulting Carentan from the north across a narrow causeway over marshy ground along the river. As the Americans approached the outskirts of Carentan, German Fallschirmers opened up with their machine guns and rifle fire from positions in nearby hedgerows and farmhouses. So this is going to be another difficult mission. It's 1944. The VP marker starts on the 30 space for the Axis. The Allies start out as line troops with 2 orders. The Axis are elite with 3. Time is 0. Sudden death 8. Allies attacking. Defenders Axis defending. And the initiative card is supposed to go to the Allies, but I'm actually not going to use it anymore. I usually forget anyway, and I think this is just a good solo way and for Fog of War. So stiff, not using it. Objective chits. We have open D, H, L and N, which basically mean that objective 4 is worth 10 VP, and we have R, where objective 5 is worth 10 VP as well. The Axis set up first, and the Allies set up last, with the Allies having the first turn. Allies hold objective 1, the Germans hold the remainder. German forces, we have Lieutenant von Karstie's, Feldwebel Esser, 3 parachute squads, 1 elite squad, 1 heavy machine gun, 1 light machine gun, and 3 foxholes, with a surrender value of 5. The American forces are Captain Sitner, Lieutenant Blankenship, Sergeant Bueller, 5 paratroop squads, 4 line squads, 2 elite squads, 2 elite teams, 1 line team, 3 light mortars, and a 155mm artillery radio. Excuse me, I'm boring myself already. And their surrender value is 5 as well. Okay, so special rules is we have to break the Americans up into basically 3 lots. American reinforcements. Blankenship, 2 parachute squads, 1 line squad, 1 elite team, and 1 light mortar, and the radio in the 2 space of the time track. And then Sergeant Bueller, 1 paratroop squad, 2 line squads, 1 line team, and another light mortar in the 4 space of the time track, which I've put here. The second rule is when the time marker enters the 2 space, and again when it enters the 4 space, increase the American surrender level by 3, from 5 to 8, and then 8 to 11. That's why I've just got these marked. And also increase the American order limit by 1, so they'll go from 2 to 3 to 4. Axis units set up within 1 hex of objectives 2 through 5, as they wish, and Allied units must set up within 2 hexes of objective 1. The causeway ditches aren't actually... the roads are causeway ditches and not roads. So if we'll just have a look over here to start with the German setup. So you can see the road here and the road here. They're causeway ditches. You don't get a -1 to your cover for those at all. So that's about the only thing going for the Americans. So I've set up the Germans in this way. 3 foxholes here. This is objective 4 worth 10 VP, and I've put Lieutenant von Castries, a parachute squad with a light machine gun in there to basically cover off into this area. And they can cover off down to about this area, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So down to here, L. Excuse me. I've then got a parachute squad here in objective 2, which is not worth any victory points, but just again to give some cover into this area, some firepower. Objective 3 up here is, well, I don't know why there's a pillbox in there. It's a foxholes. Is where I've got Sergeant Esser with the elite team and the heavy machine gun, and he can give cover. He can give fire right up to here, the whole way around, basically down to about here. So great fire, the whole lot. And then to cover off objective 5 as a forlorn hope in that end, which is worth 10 VP, is the last para squad. So that's the way I've got them, and that's the reason I've got them that way. This has the best fire template, so I've put the heavy machine gun there, and it gives the most cover, or the most firepower cover, to this. And this is the other one worth anything, so I've given them the second heaviest amount of fire with support from here and support from there. The Americans, as it said, have to set up within 2 hexes of this, objective 1. So I've got Captain Sitner here with the line squad, the elite team, the light mortar, and then his 2 paratroop squads there. So as you can see, he doesn't get any more troops to time 2, and then more again in time 4. And all of them have to come on, the way I'm reading it, his other troops can come on anywhere along here on the board edge, but he has to be within 2 hexes. I've put them down here because at least they get the hindrance through the brush here, which gives them a 3 hindrance. Even though they may not have any cover unless they're in the brush, at least they've got the hindrance here. Once we get the 155, at least we can start chucking some smoke down range as well to give a little bit more concealment for them. So that's why I've done what I've done. Rightio, there are no secret objectives in this at this time, and if there were, again, I wouldn't look at them as my normal fog of war. So let's get into it. So the Germans get 4 cards for defending, the Americans get 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for attacking, and Frank the Yanks first, followed by Herman the German. Righto. Let's see what the Americans start with. And they have a rout, artillery request, which is useless to them, a command confusion, artillery request, useless, a recover and a recover. So we're going to keep the 2 recovers and we're going to get rid of those other 4. That's a good slow start. They're still having their morning coffee and they don't really want to leave, and I can't say I blame them. So 4 cards for the Americans. Over to the Germans, and their starting hand is a rout, not much use at the moment, a move, other than the crossfire, not much use, command confusion, marksmanship could be handy, and a fire. So again, what I might do is keep the fire, and I might keep the marksmanship. I might get rid of the rout at the moment. These guys are going to be easier to hit and put down when they're moving. I'm quite happy to wait until they start to move. So I'm going to keep those cards. That way, hopefully, as soon as the captain starts to move, I can hit him with these 2. Straight up, heavy firepower. Get in there and do that. So 1 card for them. And if I need to get rid of another card, then I can always get rid of the move and the command confusion, and they're happy. Okay, so the Americans 2 recovers, and they pick up a move, and a fire, and a move, and a fire. Ripper. So we are going to move. Ta-da! And we don't have any... Yeah, we don't have any smoke grenades, which is a bit of a pain, but we're going to move, so we'll activate everybody here. This guy first, he moves 3 to there. And we know that the Germans have a fire, and they are going to opportunity fire. And they're going to activate Sergeant Esser with the machine gun here. Really, they're just activating the machine gun, but yeah. Excuse me. So it's going to fire for 8 and 2 is 10 down to this guy. -3 for the hindrance is 7 into here. But we're going to add a crossfire to that. So we're hitting for 9 plus 7, 16. And this guy is here for 8. Excuse me. He's behind the brush, so he's going to, as far as I'm concerned, he gets 1 cover. Does he get cover, or does he only get cover in the brush? Now that's a fine question, isn't it? I'm starting to second guess myself again, as you can see. But yeah, as far as I'm concerned, he could lay down, he'd have 1 cover behind the brush. So, so he's here for 9. He doesn't get any cover for the marsh whatsoever. So 9 and 3, 12, and is hit. First blood. Okay, this paratroop then moves down for 3, and again they fire for 7 due to the loss of 3 into here. I'm not adding anything to this one. And 5 is 12. And again, he's here for 8. But he's not up against this, so I don't believe he gets the cover this time. So just 8. 8 and 6 is 14. He's good. So he's moved 3. He moves 4. Again, they shoot him for 7. Plus 7 is 14. And we have a German event, which is malfunction. Break the unbroken weapon closest to a random hex. Okay. And the random hex is K1. And K1 is here. So the closest weapon is going to be the heavy machine gun. So it is now broken. And it's repaired on a 1 to 6, eliminated on a 7, 8, and unaffected by anything else. Okay, so we have 14 over into here. He's here for 8. And 9 is 17, and he can go 1 more, which he will. So he's gone 3, 4, 5 to here. And this is the only one that could fire, and now he's only got a range of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boop. Nothing happens. So these little fellas move right along now, and they'll go 3 to there. So he can go 5, he can go 6, he can go 6. So that's 3 to there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can't hit anything, and they'll come down another 3 to here. And that's their move finished. That's the fire finished. And the other 2 cards that I was holding on for the Germans to use against these did no good. Okay, so what we might do is just do a recover. because that's about all we can do at the moment. So our second order is recover for this guy here, who's there for 9. So if he was in here, he'd get the 1 +1 for cover, but he's here, so he doesn't. It's only when he's being shot at. So he's there for 9. We get a 7, which is good. He's back, and the American event is interrogation. Look at your opponent's hand. You may select 1 card there, place it in the discard pile. Okay, so the Germans have a move and a command confusion, and both of these are good to them. They're not going to move, so it doesn't really matter. But this gives them extra against moving or static targets, whereas this gives them only against moving. So I'm going to get rid of marksmanship, sorry. And that leaves them with their move. The Americans are finished, get 2 new cards. They can't do anything else. And the Germans have 1 card, which is the move. They can't do anything, and they will get 3 new cards. We have a quick look at defender stuff on them, and there are a couple. Okay, righto. Americans, recover, move, 2 fires. And they've picked up another fire and a rout. And at least we've got smoke grenades this time. Okay. So we shall move again. This bloke's got a range of 10. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So anywhere we move, he's going to be able to have a go. But he's only got a firepower of 6 -3. So he's only going to be hitting us for 3 at the moment until we get within 6. And then he's got a little bit more firepower, a range of 6. Oh, just got shit falling off the table. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the J area. Rightio. So we're going to move. We might move this guy last-ish and see how we go. So paratroop's going to move first, and he goes 1 to there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They can fire if they wish. And there is hidden wire there. So he's not going any further forward. And that'll also make him a bit easier to hit. So he's in range. They're firing for 4. +2 is 6. -3 is 3 into here. And I think they'll use the crossfire on that. Hang on a tick. They don't have a fire. What do you mean they're going to fire, you twit? They can't fire. But he's stuck there anyway. Next people to move is Sergeant Sitner, and they go 1 into there, and the Germans go, ha ha! More wire. And Sergeant Sitner is not going anywhere. Sorry, Captain Sitner. Sorry. Field demotion. Well, being an ex-senior NCO myself, I would say that's a field promotion, but yeah. Righto, so he's stuck there as well. Germans can't fire. So we have 1 more guy who can move. So I could at least move him up to here if I wanted, and he's still going to be in the good. As in still in the command radius. So I'm just going to move him up there. And the Germans have nothing to do with him this time. And that is that. And the Americans get 1 card. Over to the Germans, they have an advance and a move. They don't want the advance. They don't want to move. I think they need 4 new cards. And that's what they're going to do. See what they can get. Back to the Americans, and the Americans are going to do what? They can't move. So that sucks. So the first thing they're going to do is demolitions to try and protect their people a bit. Play when your opponent discards one or more cards. Remove a fortification in a friendly hex. So we'll remove that wire. So that's an action, not an order. Which leaves us 2 fires, a recover, a rout, and a command confusion. So I think what we are going to do is fire. We're going to fire our mortar. I think we can fire 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Damn, I'm just out of range with this guy. With the line squad, and these guys have only got a range of 4. So it's going to have to be the mortar, and the mortar by itself. So we will fire. Yes, I know I'm using up an ambush early. We're going to fire, and we are going to use sustained fire for a +2 if we actually fire. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. +3 for the hindrance is 12 for the targeting roll. And we get 6 sixes, which is a lot more than that, yes. But that's time. Okay. So we go up to time 1. The Germans get 1 victory point, taking them to 31. We shuffle up the American deck. We have no reinforcements. There's no smoke out there at the moment. It's not sudden death. So we'll just need to see if anybody has any dig-ins they want to use. The Americans have no dig-ins, and the Germans, even if they had one, can't use it, so forget about that as well. And we are up to the mortar attack. So the mortar is hitting right in here for 7. +2 for the sustained fire is 9. +4 is 13. Okay, and remembering foxholes and all fortifications give a... Not all fortifications. Foxholes, trenches, and pillboxes and bunkers and all that shit give a +1 for artillery and mortars. So the parachute mob here is here for 8, and 2 is 10, and 4 is 14, so they're safe as houses. And they are, and they get a German event, which is blaze. Place a blaze in a random mark, and it's a B3, so we'll grab a blaze. We'll put it in B3, and we have a look here, and a 3 fixes the heavy bloody machine gun. Boo, yes. Okay, and that is it. That's all the Americans can do, because we have a recover, a fire, and a rout. There's nobody to rout. We can't fire with anything else, so they get 3 new cards. And we look at the Germans, and they have a command confusion with nothing else on it. A rout, which is no good to them at the moment. A command confusion, and a command confusion. Not one fire card in there or anything else. I'm going to get rid of all 4 again. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we come back to the Americans. Fire, recover, rout, command confusion, and fire. So we're going to get rid of the 2 routs and the command confusion. We're getting off to a slow start. It's early in the morning. Nobody wants to move all that fast. Just taking it easy. Back to Herman the German, and we have a fire, and a rout, and a recover, and a move. Okay. So we could fire, but again, our best time to fire is when they are moving. So I want to hold fire. I want to keep the recover. The move would help with concealment, but I can forget about that at the moment. That's not great. And the rout has a spray fire, which would help, but I think what I really want is some more fire cards so I can bring other people into fire as well if the Americans start to do something strange. So 2 new cards for the Germans. back to the Americans with 2 fires, a recover, and they get a command confusion, artillery request, and artillery denied, which are totally useless to them at the moment. So again, they could fire the mortar, but there's not much sense in that. They can't move anywhere, so they are just going to get 3 new cards. They really don't want to move. I think the captain needs to get his shit together. Okay, Hermann the German. Lieutenant von Clausewitz can now recover, fire, advance, and fire. Okay, well, he doesn't want to advance. So we could fire. Let's fire into here. Since he's got the -1. But let's see. If we fire into here, we're firing for 10. -3 is 7 into here. But he's going to pick up the +1 for the cover, which is offset by the wire. So he's going to be sitting there for 8. If we fire into here, it's going to be exactly the same, 8. So yeah, we'll go into there. And I'm using this, even though it's got an ambush, because both the German ones have ambush on them. So we're firing, and that's all we're doing. So again, 10 -3 is 7 into there with nothing to add. +9 is 16, again, pretty damn fine. And he's in here for 8 -1 is 7, +1 is 8. And 10, and he's good. And an American sniper takes a shot back at him at 0-2. And I've got no idea what he was shooting at. I think he's duck hunting up there. So that is that. So do they want to fire again? They could fire 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 into either of these. This bloke's not going to get any cover. Well, he probably would get a bit of cover this time again, wouldn't he? If we look, no, he's not going to. No. But again, he's only going to be firing for 3, which doesn't really do much. So we're going to hold there. Germans get 1 card. Back to the Americans. 2 fires, recover, artillery request, command confusion, artillery request, and the Americans are going to discard those. Get 3 new cards. And we're back to the Germans. Recover, fire, advance, and move. So this time they're going to get rid of the move and the advance and get 2 new cards. And the Americans, 2 fires, recover, artillery request, recover, and rout. So we're going to get rid of the rout and the artillery request. And 2 new cards. And the Germans recover, fire, command confusion, and move. Damn it, no. 2 new cards for the Germans. Okay. Americans, 2 fires, 2 recovers, and another 2 recovers. That's 4. So we've got a recover with hand grenades we'll keep, a recover with assault fire we'll keep, and we've got 2 recovers with spray fire, which we will get rid of. It's ridiculous when you're throwing away recovers as a small attacking force. Germans, recover, fire, artillery request, and rout. So they're going to get rid of those 2, get 2 new ones. Can the Americans move? And they can move! Yay! So the Americans are going to move as their first order. We're activating everyone here. First guy to move is going to be Mr. Paratrooper here. And he, before he goes anywhere, is going to pop smoke. And he's going to put it into the hex in K9 where he's heading. And it is 2. So it does absolutely nothing because we've already got 3 hindrance here anyway. Okay, so he's moved into here. So the Germans can fire. And they do have a fire, as we know. So they are going to opportunity fire. And for this first turn, they are going to spray fire into these 2 hexes. From here, so same again, 8 and 2 is 10, minus 3 is 7. Plus 3 is 10. God almighty. I think he was back having a slash somewhere. Okay, so we have 8 plus 1 is 9 for him. Plus 2 is 11. He just made it. And this guy's here for 8. Plus 8, and he is fine. So this little man can move again. He's moved 1. He moves 2 into here. They fire again for 7. Plus 7 is 14. A little bit better. And they have an event which is deploy. You may remove a German squad from the map. If you do, replace it with 2 matching teams. So I could probably do that here if I wanted to, and maybe send a team down to here, leave this blank and send a team around to here to help as well. And that's going to beef them up for any attacks that come in. But that's going to also leave a hole in my line, which I don't really like. So I'm actually better with the firepower than I am with the other. So no, we're not going to do it. Okay, so we're firing for 14 into here. He's in there for 8. Plus 1 is 9. Plus 4 is 13 and is hit. Hey, see, he even jumped when he got hit. Righto, next guy to move is going to be this paratroop here. And he's going to go 3 into here. Again, they fire. 8 and 2 is 10. Minus 3 is 7 into here. Plus 10, 17. Ouch. And we have a German sniper at L5. Okay, I think he's just shooting at butterflies. So 17 against this poor little fella here. He's sitting here for 8. And 7 is 15. But we have an event which is battle hardened. 1 American unit becomes veteran. It's not going to help him if I do that. But it's going to help this fella here, since he's already been hit. But this guy really needs it. We'll give it to the line, make him feel better with the paratroopers. Okay, so this guy is hit as well, which leaves these ones to move up. So they're going to move to here. They fire again for 7 into here, but this time they're using sustained fire. So that's 9 into there. Oh, plus 6 is 15. But because it's sustained fire, which I've just lost, then the machine gun breaks again. It's gone out for 15. Okay, so the elite team is in here for 7 and 2 is 9. And he's fine with an 11. And we have 7 and 2 is 9. And 6 is 15. So he is hit. And because he's moving, he is gone. Okay, and then the captain is there for 10 and 8 and is fine. Right, so we've moved. I think the best we can do would be to recover. So we are going to recover for our second order. We'll start here. So we have 8, 9, 10, 11 for the line. And we get a 6, which is wonderful, and a sniper hitting at E8. We was nearly on target. Okay, so our line squad is back. We'll do this young fella here. He's there for 9, and he's back. And our other paratroop squad there for 9 as well. And he's back, but we have an event first, which is breeze. Remove all smoke markers. Doesn't make any difference. And all blazes spread in direction 4, which is directly south. So I'll just fix this guy up. And then grab a blaze. Oh, it's a 10 smoke. Oh! There we go. The blaze is starting to move to the south. And that's all the Americans can do. They get 3 new cards. And the Germans have a recover and nothing else. So they get 3 new cards. And we're back to the Americans. So we will call it quits there for the first video. That's just over half an hour. So it'll come out to around 40 minutes. So what we've got at the moment is we're in time 1 of 8. The Germans have 31 victory points. Nobody has lost any troops at the moment. The Americans were chewed up in, or tangled up in a little bit of wire and then chewed up a bit, but they've bounced back and the line team's become a veteran. The heavy machine gun has been broken for the 2nd time. In fact, we just did a random. No, we didn't do a random, so it just moved down, sorry. So yeah, it's been broken for the 2nd time, so I don't think this elite team has been maintaining it very well. Either that or it's starting to get a bit old. I suppose it is 1944. It might have been out on the East Front beforehand. So we'll call it quits there, and I will see you back here next time for a continuation of Scenario 27. So be good, take care, and I'll catch you next time. Bye for now.